Shocking result, wasn't it, this morning? I've been awake for quite a while. Theresa May now has to resign. She has to resign. She failed as a Home Secretary. She failed as a Prime Minister and will continue to fail. Bearing in mind, she cut the police force by 20,000 police. Not just made a few redundant, 20,000 officers she took off our street. She has to resign. She goes on about a hard Brexit. Some people out there voted for that. Do you actually know what the deal is? Do you know what the hard Brexit is? Did she ever come out and tell you what kind of deal she was going to negotiate? I've not seen it. If I'm wrong, by all means comment if this goes up on Twitter or YouTube. But as far as I'm aware, there is no... She didn't tell anybody about a plan. Now, if you're a Labour supporter or you're a Labour voter, just take comfort in the fact that you voted for a better society across the board. You voted for a party that wanted a better NHS system, protect the elderly, protect the disabled, protect our schools, protect our police force. You voted not just for a party on one policy, but on various policies. So that's that out of the way. But as I say, Theresa May has to step down. Just bear in mind, she may form a coalition with the DUP. She's talking about that at the moment. Just bear this in mind. When small people have a chance at power, when they kind of get power within their clutches, they will do anything to get that power. That's what I'm saying. They will do anything to have that power in their hands, and it doesn't always necessarily mean they've got the public interests at heart. So just bear that in mind. She's forming a coalition with the DUP. Now, do the DUP kind of hold any gravitas with regards to decisions being made in this country? And I'm just saying, people see that power. It's like fame. People will do anything for 5 minutes of fame. Anything. Some people will do anything for a little short time of power. Another thing you've got to take comfort from if you're a Labour supporter or a Labour voter, and I've said this many times in past episodes, I've said it before, there is a wave, a small ripple sweeping this country, and people are kind of pricking their ears up. They're fed up with the cuts. They're fed up with the bad NHS system. They're fed up with kind of increased number of food banks under the Conservatives, and it's proven. There's statistics out there to justify that. What we've done now is, by kind of voting for Labour in the numbers that we have, we've kicked the Conservatives into touch. You'd hazard a guess that they can't now go on to privatise the NHS. They can't go on to make cuts to the police, but they will. Watchers of my channel know that I look extensively into facts and figures and so on and so forth. And I've got a couple of people behind the scenes that help me. I know for a fact that they're trying to private the NHS. Jeremy Hunt even wrote a book about privatising the NHS and how he wants to privatise the NHS. So this is the kind of government that we may still have in a coalition. Say she puts a policy passed in Parliament. Say a majority of the DUP go against her. What happens then? For the next 5 years, it's not guaranteed that we're going to get anything done, because a majority of people might not even agree with her. So, have we come out of this in a good way? I'd say not. What happens in Brexit now? Are the European Commission going to trust Theresa May? No. She needs to resign. She needs to step down. Make way for someone that can negotiate a lot better than what she can. She was even afraid to negotiate with Jeremy Corbyn. She needs to step down. And we as a public need to make that happen. If you're a Labour supporter and a Labour voter, and people are going to throw a few labels around this morning, if someone calls you an idiot, or you're deluded, or you don't know what's going on in politics, you're an idiot for voting Labour, then they're going to mess the country up and they're going to rip it apart, just walk away calmly. Just ignore them and take, I say again, comfort in the fact that you voted for a multitude of policies to protect our society, and not just one policy that, yes, may change our country, but you wanted to protect the country as a whole, not just one policy that you have no idea how it's going to go. Because does anyone really know? Ask yourself now, do you really know what Theresa May is going to do with Brexit? Or do you just know that she's going to do a hard Brexit? Now, obviously, I'm filming this quick episode. I'm out working in a day job. I'm not in my usual room where I film my full-length kind of episodes. But I've had this video interrupted by a phone call, and you may want to hear this. It's a prediction from one of my helpers. I've got a couple of helpers on this channel, you may know. Doesn't matter who they are. They are very clever. But they make a prediction about Theresa May. I've just been saying for the rest of the video, and I'm going to include it, that Theresa May should step down. They make a prediction that they reckon Theresa May will now have a vote of no confidence by the rest of the party. And there is one member that has suddenly come forward that may step in her shoes. And I'm going to make this prediction. Anna Soubry will be our next Prime Minister. And Theresa May will have a vote of no confidence. We're calling it. If we're wrong, we're wrong. It's a prediction. But that's what we reckon. Either way, Theresa May has to go. But like I say, if you're a Labour voter and a Labour supporter, take solace in the fact that you have kicked the Conservatives into touch. You have got rid of a Home Secretary, possibly, a Prime Minister that didn't have the best interests of this country at heart, no matter what you say. You don't cut 20,000 police officers from your police force if you have the best interests of your public at heart. You don't. You do not do it. They are the last thing to go. So on that note, thanks for watching. Labour supporters and Labour voters, don't be downhearted. Don't be downhearted. Everybody said Jeremy Corbyn was unelectable. He did it twice. Everybody said that he couldn't lead us to a general election. He's done it. He hasn't lost. He hasn't won. What's happened is Theresa May has lost. Why has she lost? Because she didn't get the majority that she first thought she would get. See you later.